All right, guys, today I have some awesome sciatica stretches for you. I'm super excited to share these with you. So first, I'm going to show you the movements, walk you through them, then we'll do the whole thing together all out. All right, time to dig into those sciatica stretches. So starting out, I will recommend that you need a mat because we will do some of these on the ground, just one or two standing. Each of these we're gonna hold for about 30 seconds. So starting out, we have a lying knee to chest. So I am going to get on my mat here and lay down gently. And I'm gonna bring my legs straight out in front of me. Upper body is resting on the ground. So we're gonna do some lying knee to chest stretches. So we're alternating here. And we're gonna pull our right knee in. We're gonna do this for about 30 seconds total, so we'll do 15 on either side, making sure that my hips are tucked, my navel is pressing into the mat, and I'm really pulling down, pulling my knee towards my chest, maybe even pulling a little to the right to open through the hip. And then we're gonna alternate here for another 15 seconds. So making sure to relax all through the upper body, really pulling in that knee to your chest, keeping your back flat and flush with the mat. From there, we're going to come up to standing. We have a standing hamstring stretch. So hamstrings are these nice big muscles right here. So we're gonna grab on to the top. If you need something to balance on, you might need to have some sort of extra support. If you can, try to find a focal point here. Finding your center of balance, keeping your abs pulled in, zipping up your rib cage, and grabbing that heel, pulling the top of your toe, the top of your foot towards your seat, and really tucking those hips under, getting that nice hamstring stretch. So you wanna keep the knees in line with each other here. You don't wanna be up here, you don't wanna be super back here. You wanna make sure you're standing upright and the knees are in line. So 15 seconds on either side, and then we'll switch sides, of course. And then from there, we're gonna go into a pelvic tilt exercise. So we are coming back down to our mat, and for this pelvic tilt, it seems similar to the first one, except we're going to pull both knees into our chest here. Try to resist your hands. So you're gonna pull your knees to your chest, making sure to press your belly button into the mat. Your back is flush with the mat, and you wanna resist by pressing your hips down against the mat. So finding that nice flat back here, pelvic tilt stretch. From there, we're gonna go right into some glute bridges. So you'll bring your upper body to the mat, your feet are hip width apart. We are going to do some glute bridges. So if you haven't done a glute bridge before, you wanna squeeze your butt and lift your hips on the way up. So squeeze the butt, lifting the hips in the air, driving them towards the sky. That navel is tucked in, and you're squeezing your knees together here. So there's a lot of movements happening at once. So think squeeze in and up. So squeezing, lifting, knees together, hips are squeezing, backs of the legs are squeezing, dig the heels into the ground. So we're gonna do glute bridges for about 30 seconds there. Now, finally, we have a lying deep gluteal stretch. So bear with me, this one has a couple steps. So we're gonna lie down flat on our mats. So bring everything relaxed, and then bring that right knee up to your chest and across the body. Bring the right arm out to a T and gently pull on that right knee, bringing it across the body. So think up and over. So you want it a little closer to the chest, in line with your hip ideally, and across the body. That right arm is out to the side. If you want, even add a rotation of the neck facing towards that arm as you bring the knee across the body, and try to keep those hips in line and keep the back pressed flush into the mat. And then, of course, we're going to switch sides and add that rotation there. So those are your sciatica stretches. You've seen what to do. Let's do the whole thing all together. All right, guys, it is time for those sciatica stretches. I'm super excited. This one is awesome. If you have sciatica pain, these are great things for you to do at home on the regular, just to try to help relieve some of the pain. I know it is horrible to deal with, and we all want to make sure that you guys are working on yourselves and trying to alleviate some of the symptoms. So I have some awesome stretches for you. You're gonna need a mat or a soft place to lay. We're gonna start with some lying knee to chest stretches. Each one of these is 15 seconds on either side, 30 seconds total. So coming down to the ground, gently rest the upper body here, legs are flat, and bring that right knee into your chest. So 15 seconds on this side. Remember, my back is flush with the mat. I'm driving my knee towards my chest, gently pulling, gently pressing that knee into my chest. Again, maybe opening up through the right side, nice and slow. Find where you can push yourself just slightly. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and come back center before switching it out. Release that right leg, take it to the left, 15 seconds here. So try to find that sweet spot where it feels like you're pushing your body just a little bit, but it's not painful. That's where you want to stretch, just so you can really open up through the hips and release some of that tension in there. So 3, 2, and 1, beautiful. Go ahead and release, coming to neutral before standing up for those standing hamstring stretches. Remember, we always like to come back to neutral first. So standing hamstring stretch, we're going to go with the right leg first. Grab onto the top of that right foot. Soften the bend in that standing leg. Keep those hips tucked as you drive the heel to your seat. So notice my knees are in line here. I'm completely standing upright. I'm not flailing to the side. My knee is not back or out to the side. My knee, or the top of my leg, is facing forward and knees are in line. So 3, 2, and 1. Time to switch it out. Same thing, other side. So again, never locking out my knee joint. Find that center of balance. I know it's hard. Find a focal point. Maybe you're better at this than I am. Bring those knees in line here, chest up, shoulders back, and make sure that you are pulling that heel to your seat while keeping the knees in line, and feel that stretch through the hamstring. 3, 2, and 1, beautiful. Go ahead and come back down to the mat. We have a pelvic tilt exercise. So bringing that back flat, slowly lowering down. We're going to bring both knees to our chest this time. 30 seconds, and pressing those knees towards your chest, kind of resisting the pull here of the knees. So you want to flatten the pelvis and not flatten the pelvis. You want to tilt the pelvis, but you're keeping your abs in the whole time here, and your back is nice and flat. So you're getting that nice deep stretch here. Give the knees a nice little hug. You should hug yourself every now and then. You deserve it. We go through a lot. We put our bodies through a lot. So give a nice deep hug here. And breathe. Deep breath. And 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to take it right into those glute bridges. So bringing those feet hip width, we're going to drive our hips up and knees together and keeping our hips tucked. So we're going to do continuous glute bridges throughout these 30 seconds, and go. So driving the hips up and squeezing and lowering. You want to take these fairly slow so that they're nice and controlled. Notice I'm even doing each one of the movements. You can kind of see me go up and squeeze in, release, lower. So hips go up, my belly button is down. I'm driving my heels into the mat. So you should be able to even lift your toes off the mat and kind of wiggle them. That's how you know you're digging in your heels into the mat and your weight is in your heels. So really driving the hips up, squeeze, 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 release, and lower. This is great for the hips. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders into the mat. You can keep your arms by your sides here. My arms are just kind of floating around. And just a couple more, almost there. Keep going. Last one, and squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Awesome job. Go ahead and lower. Time for that deep gluteal stretch. So lower or release your legs so that your legs are straight out in front of you, and then bring that right knee up to your chest. Right arm comes to a T, and bring that knee across the body. 15 seconds here. Go ahead and start on that clock, and we will pull our knee slightly across the body. You'll really feel this through the outside of the booty and across the leg and the hamstring. So it's super important that you keep your back flat with the mat. You want your hips to stay squared and stay on that mat while doing this deep stretch. You can even add a rotation of the neck. If that's too much, you can keep your neck centered in a neutral position. So we got 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back to neutral. Release that leg. Same thing, other side. Bring the knee to the chest, left arm to a T, and slowly bring that knee across the body. 15 seconds. Maybe taking that gaze to the left side. So knee should be about in line with your hip. You don't want it all the way to your chest. You don't want it down here. Find as far as you can go without hurting yourself. Of course, you want to find that sweet spot that works for you, but keeping the hips on the mat. I want both hips on the mat and bringing that right knee carefully across the body. Hold it just a couple more seconds. This is our last stretch here, so make this one count. Make this a really deep stretch here. Maybe add a couple breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Always come back to neutral, so bring the knee back to neutral, neck back to neutral. Release that leg, shake it out here, and maybe even give yourselves a round of applause because you guys just killed that. That was your sciatica stretch, and if you like that, make sure to check out our other stretches. We also have workouts, we have warm-ups, we have breathing exercises, we have all the things. So subscribe to our channel and check out our other ones, and I'll see you on the next one.